Well, here we go. Coming up July 29th, Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Allen Crawford. This is the fight. This is the fight. Everybody's trying to guess who's going to win this fight. Well, I already know who's going to win this fight, but I'm not telling. Check it out. What do we know about Errol Spence Jr.? Errol the Truth Spence Jr. Well, his record is 28-0, 22 knockouts. His height is 5'9.5". His age is 33 years. His stance is southpaw. We know that he's from Long Island, New York, currently a resident of DeSoto, Texas. He was also a member of the Olympic team. He fought fighters like Kell Brooks, Sean Porter, Mikey Garcia, Danny Garcia, Lamont Peterson are some of the most notable names that he's fought. So we know that about Errol Spence Jr. and that he was in a car accident that nearly took his life. And in a separate car crash, he suffered an eye injury that put him out of the fight with Manny Pacquiao. And that's how Ugas got in. He's also a technically sound fighter in his prime, and he has 3 of the 4 welterweight belts. Errol Spence is no slouch. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Errol Spence has made a living off fighting smaller guys. Mikey Garcia came up 4-weight division. Danny Garcia came up 1-weight division. Lamont Peterson came up a weight division. And he barely got by Sean Porter in a majority decision. And Kell Brooks had just come off a loss against Triple G. So I don't want to leave those things out by things we know about Errol Spence, all right? Terrence Bud Crawford. What do we know about Terrence Bud Crawford? We know that he's currently the WBO welterweight champion. He has the only other belt that Errol Spence don't have. His record is 39-0 with 30 KOs. His height's 5'8". His age is 35. He fights from both sides. His reach is 74 inches. Bud was a lightweight champion. He was the undisputed junior welterweight champion and currently a welterweight champion, as I mentioned. Bud has fought 7 undefeated fighters on his record. They have common opponents, Kell Brooks and Sean Porter, but they both knocked out Kell Brooks, and Terrence have the distinction of knocking out Sean Porter. I think the only one on Sean Porter's record. There's a dispute whether Sean was done or not, and he just took advantage of a fading Sean Porter. I don't know. I mean, Sean seemed to bring a lot of energy in that fight, and it was one of those fights that was stopped by his dad. And I thought at the time that his dad saved his life because I thought Terrence was just going to get meaner. I think that this should be a really good matchup by what we know about these guys. Now, who's going to win? That's what we want to know. We want to know who's going to win and why. Well, the old adage is, a good big man beats a good small man any day of the week. Well, all that goes out the window if the small man is exceptional. Like Manny Pacquiao, for instance, or Sugar Ray Leonard or Floyd Mayweather. All these guys went up, multiple weight divisions and won titles and championships and knocked some people out in those weight divisions. So we got to decide, if you think that Terrence Crawford cannot hurt Errol Spence, then you got to choose Errol Spence, because Errol Spence will be there. I mean, he's a sound fighter. But if you think Terrence Crawford can hurt Errol Spence, then you better choose Crawford, because Crawford is going to get ample opportunities because Spence does nothing special. He has gotten touched by a lot of guys who are less talented than him. So let's talk boxing. This is Coach B, and that's my take on this.